Hi, my name is Alishia Potter, and I am the founder of Empowered Women Ministries and the visionary behind the Empowered Women of the Year Award Ceremony Dinner. The Empowered Women of the Year Award Ceremony Dinner is a time of honoring single mothers who have risen above some type of life adversity and have excelled in various areas of accomplishments. And so we have 5 categories of those accomplishments. We have educational advancement.
My name is Rita Broome, and I am one of the 2016 Empowered Women of the Year. For educational advancement, basically, despite all the adversity that have come my way, I was able to triumph. Amidst of not only did I accomplish my bachelor's in criminal justice, I went on to be admitted to the Administration of Justice program with a concentration of leadership and administration. And I somewhat interrupted that to take on a program at Georgetown University, a nonprofit management and executive certificate program there. And so all that basically not only leading to my job that I do during the day, which is in the court system, but also it goes towards a non-profit business I also founded to help boys stay away from the criminal justice system.
Entrepreneurial Success.
My name is Monet Camper, and I am one of the 2016 Empowered Women of the Year. I'm being honored in Entrepreneurial Success for my 2 businesses. And the one business is my catering, and the other one is I'm a Zumba instructor. I've always been sort of a hustler because that's the terminology that we used in my neighborhood, but I hustled in a legal way and in a way that I found that, you know, God gave me certain gifts and I didn't have to try really hard at times, but, you know, some things came natural. But you do have to work hard, and it's a struggle every day, but, you know, I'm thankful for it. The one thing that I could say to them is to never give up. Always believe that God gives us no more than we can bear. There's a reason sometimes that, you know, we are single moms, and the way I looked at it is God said, okay, that I'm enough. And so that if I'm enough, then I'm going to give him everything that I have.
Career Success.
My name is Rita Bell, and I am one of the 2016 Empowered Women of the Year. I am being honored in career success. Through my life, the last couple of years to be exact, I have faced many trials and tribulations. I have been able to overcome them, from being at a job for several years to getting laid off unexpectedly, and just a series of unfortunate events, being a single mom, losing my house, not having any place to go, and just a whole bunch of series. But God opened up opportunity with my current employer, United Way, and my boss there actually nominated me. Don't allow your children to be your excuse not to succeed. Make them your excuse for you to push to success, because it's nothing better than a role model doing, you know, exactly what it is, what they're supposed to do. Like my children's role model, they see me graduate my associate's degree. They were right there front and center screaming, "Go Mom." You know, they see me graduate my bachelor's degree. They see me struggle, but they see me triumph. And they're my reason that I keep going.
First time home ownership.
My name is Samira Williams, and I am one of the 2016 Empowered Women of the Year. I am being nominated for First Time Home Buyers Award. I was really surprised and honored at the same time, so it was a very humbling experience as well. I struggle with, you know, just growing up struggles of broken home, financial struggles, just to name a few. This award means a lot, actually. It shows that basically you can accomplish your goals and what you set out to do.
And then we have a specialty category for someone who has persevered through a life-threatening illness or a life-and-death situation and has empowered her community as a result. And that's the Quinetta Brundge Legacy of Faith Award.
My name is Ebony, Canion, and I go by a survivor story. I was actually run over by a car, and I was dragged almost 200 feet with my body folded up under the car. So many times I thought about giving up after that tragic night. Being dragged for over a quarter mile and sustaining life-threatening injuries has changed my life forever. But now I've got to use what was meant for evil for good. I can't give up. I have to empower others who might want to give up. I absolutely have to tell my story of how I made it through. I have to talk about all the other disappointments and tragic moments I've gotten through in my life. When I think about all that I've made it through, I get chills. Imagine being raped by someone you trust. Imagine becoming a young widow with 2 kids after 1 year of marriage. The list goes on, and my will to live does too. My scars tell a story that must be heard. Not being able to walk was kind of like, what now, and this is too hard, and just starting all over. It was a time that I felt like giving up. I felt as if, what do I have to push for? I felt as if it was going to be too hard for me, and I was afraid of the challenge. And then even after I got out of the hospital, I realized how much of a challenge that it really was going to be. So I began to want to back away from recovery. Just having to have another grown woman change you and, wash you up and things of that nature, it was embarrassing, and it really took my self-esteem down. I remember it seemed like every time I was going to therapy, I would get down, because every time I was wearing the pen, and every time I would go to therapy, I would have an accident. So I would miss half of therapy going back upstairs to get changed, as if I was a baby. So that took a whole lot out of me. The ability to breathe fresh air is something that I took for granted. The ability to eat is something that I took for granted. To wash yourself is something that I took for granted. The ability to wiggle your toes is something that's so small, but to this day I wish that something that hurts so bad as stubbing your toe or hitting your toe on something, I wish I can hit my toe on something and feel that pain, so that's something that's taken for granted, something that we complain about all the time. When I first got out of hospital, that my lights were off, my gas was off, my cable was off, and my cell phone all at the same time. It was real hard on myself and my children, but we pulled together as a family, and I kind of explained to them, the struggle, this is what's going on, but I promise you God is watching over us, and it's going to get better. I'm telling you, He's not going to keep it this way for too much longer. I always say that God has put some type of immune cloak over me because I've been through so much. I know that in the midst of all this chaos, God has been right beside me. He's had His hand on me the whole time. Forgiveness is a huge thing, and it's a gift to be able to do it.
I'm Natasha Sims, and I am one of the 2016 Empowered Women of the Year. Well, I am the recipient of the Quinetta Brundge Legacy of Faith Award, and the reason why I'm getting it is because in 2012 I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and I won. That's the reason why I'm being honored. I was surprised and I cried, and my kids, I read it in front of my children, and they were like, yeah, and I cried because I just cried. And so for them to see me be awarded a honor, they need to see that. I want them to see everything that I'm honored for. It shows that it's one of my awards for fighting the fight and winning. So that's what it means to me. And it's just inspiration. It's more motivation to keep going.
Quinetta Brundge, she was a volunteer with our organization, a beloved friend of many of us as a part of Empowered Women Ministries. Many of us went to school with Quinetta. Many of us went to church with Quinetta. She was a single mother of 3 children, and her body was riddled with lupus. She was also a nurse and a woman of great faith. We decided in her honor that we would name the Phenomenal Faith Award after her, the Quinetta Brundge Legacy of Faith Award. We also have named a scholarship after her because she was a very giving person. This is our 5th year. We started in 2011. Literally just in 3 months, God had given me this vision. A few years after I started the ministry, and it was just on paper. And then one day I just got the inspiration that it was time. And so in 3 months, I pulled my girlfriend Stacy together. She's my college alum from DSU, and I'm like, I need you to help me plan this event, and told her all about it. She was gung-ho. And we had our first event in January. We had about 60 people there. We honored 5 women, and it was a great success. Well, the idea of celebrating single women really was life-inspired and God-inspired at the same time. In 2001, I went through a life crisis. I was pregnant with my youngest child. My oldest was only 5 months old. I was beginning the process to going through a separation and divorce from their father. I was only 26 years old, and I was greatly devastated. And it seemed like it was a Murphy's Law kind of a journey of my life. I went from having a really good job and a really good career to losing that due to health issues with the pregnancy. And my life was going downhill, and my self-esteem was going right with it. And I knew that I needed to find a way through God to get my life, to pick the pieces of my life back up. In 2003, I decided that the start to that would be going back to school to get my master's degree. I did some little part-time jobs here and there in the education field, and I wanted to get my master's in counseling. And so I did that, but as I was doing that, life was still happening to me, and I became homeless. In 2004, my 3- and 4-year-old children, we were homeless. We were living in a homeless shelter in Dover, Delaware. And again, I began to just really attach my life experience to my value. As a mother, my value as a woman, my value as a believer, my faith was being greatly challenged. We would go to church, we'd be all dressed up, and then come back to the storage facility to get more clothes out or put more clothes back. And I said, God, what is happening with my life? But God had a plan the whole time. In 2005, I graduated with my master's degree from the situation of being homeless and hitting the pavement with trying to get opportunities to find a place to live. An opportunity fell in my lap to become a homeowner through a program that I had applied for. And so I went from being homeless to moving into a 3-bedroom home. And then I went from being unemployed to reestablishing myself in a career through God's help. And so my life was coming back together. And so the Empowered Women of the Year awards ceremony, really just all the categories that I mentioned, these categories represent the milestones that God had allowed me to achieve in my journey. I remember getting a phone call from a pastor friend of mine one day, and she said, "Where have you been? I've been trying to nominate you for this award." And I said, "What award?" She said, "The Ascended Woman Award." Ascended Woman. And so in 2007, I was honored with the Ascended Woman Award from the Christian Sisters organization. And I can tell you that the feeling that I got sitting in that room, being honored for something that I just thought was broken pieces. You never know who's looking at your life. And I felt the love of God that evening. I felt God saying to me, "You are my beautiful queen, and I celebrate you for not walking away from me through your pain and in your wilderness." And so the Empowered Women of the Year Awards Ceremony Dinner is our way of giving that feeling back to other single mothers. So people can attend this event, and this is an event that they don't want to miss. I'm telling you, it's not just for women. Men come, the women bring their husbands, and the women that are being honored bring their sons, and delegates from the community come out. We've had the mayor support this event. We've had delegates that were running for office come and support this event. And so you can get tickets by going to our website at www.empoweredwomenministries.org. They're $55. It's Saturday, April the 16th, and it's an event that you just don't want to miss. It will inspire hope and healing. You'll be able to see the contributions that single women are making, not only to the community, but to the economy as well. And this event will help to raise proceeds towards the Quinetta Brundge Scholarship Award that we have, and also our goal to have housing for single mothers who are in distress. So we're looking forward to the event, and we're looking forward to everybody coming out to support these ladies.